Okay. And you got the lower third, don't you? All right. Well, with no further ado, live. Probably not live when you're watching this because there's nobody in the chat room yet. But, all right. Well, live from the beautiful Texas Hill Country. Live from LeVitus Studios, it's Bob, Dr. Mac LeVitus, creator of Working Smarter for Mac Users, live workshop. Ready? Here we go. Let's get rid of that little type below. You don't need that anymore, do you? No. Okay. And we're going to go to the slideshow view. Yes, there we go. And the slideshow view with me in the upper right corner. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, so let's start the slideshow, and away we go. LeVitus, I'll be your host. I'm also the creator of Working Smarter for Mac Users, the author of the book Working Smarter for Mac Users, and the creator, producer, director, and everything else of the online course Working Smarter for Mac Users. So, all right, here's the thing. Here's what I do. Here's what it's all about. I show Mac users how to do more work in less time so they have more time to do things they love. That's it. That is what I do. I show Mac users of all kinds at all skill levels how to do more work in less time so they have more time for things they love. Sorry about that. My phone is making noise, although I thought I asked it to be muted. All right, now it's mute. That's a mute point, isn't it? Ah, ha, ha. All right, here we go. All right, so they have more time for things that they love. Now, here's my promise to you. In this 1 hour workshop, in 1 hour or less, I'm going to show you 3 simple Working Smarter solutions. There are 3 techniques, and these 3 techniques that you're going to learn today in the next 40 minutes are going to save you at least 15 minutes a day. Every day for the rest of your life. Every day for the rest of your life. I don't want to say it again. All right, but I mean it. Really, every day for the rest of your life. Being productive when you use your Mac is the greatest thing in the world because you can improve your productivity. You can improve your output. You can do more and take less time to do it. That leaves you more time for other stuff. So this Working Smarter, the book and the course, are unlike anything I've ever done before and unlike anything I know of. I guarantee you I can help you finish almost any task on your Mac better, faster, and more elegantly than you're doing today, and I can save you countless wasted hours over the rest of your life. Who are you unsure, puzzled, lost, confused, whatever? It is. If you use a Mac, it's for you. It's for Mac users of any skill level who want to become more efficient, manage their time and activities better, and or procrastinate less. If you make your living sitting in front of a Mac, I guarantee 100% you will benefit from Working Smarter for Mac users. You will learn to do more work in less time, and you will have more time to do things you like to do. All right, so here's the thing. Working Smarter I think of being uber productive as having three legs, 3 parts. And the Working Smarter system tackles all 3 components. Efficiency is one leg. That's how to do things that you already do faster and better. Time management or planning. This is organizing your day better. Managing when you're going to do the work and how much work you're going to do in the time allotted. And then procrastination. Well, we all know about rabbit holes and procrastination. So the result is you will be a raging thunder lizard of productivity, and you'll work fewer hours, and you'll do more work in less time than you ever have before. So let me tell you a little story about me personally. I've written 84 books now, I believe. Those are just some of them. And I've never missed a deadline, but I have to say, I've struggled. I've pulled many an all-nighter to not miss a deadline, and that's not the best way to do good work. By the mid-1990s, I had sold quite a few books. I had probably a dozen books out by then. Anybody remember Stupid Mac Tricks? That was one of my big sellers in the 90s. Anyway, I was working really long hours, and I wasn't getting ahead. It seemed like every day I had more to do rather than ever making a dent in my workload. And so oftentimes I would work until midnight and then get up at 8 in the morning and start over again and just be in the office 10, 14, 16 hours a day and just getting the bare minimum of work done. I was always doing something I shouldn't be doing. I was so easily distracted. But I digress. Then about 20 years ago, I found out something important. I have ADD. That's what's wrong. That's why it was so difficult for me to finish my work in a timely fashion. That's why my work always expanded to take up all the time in my life, because I have ADD, and I have the attention span of a gnat, is what it turns out. And so I had to learn a lot. About distraction and attention deficit and paying attention and staying focused. And I read a lot of books, and I took courses, and I went into therapists and group therapy, and I did so many things. My head spun, but I did figure out how to become more productive and not spend all of my waking hours trying to get a certain amount of work done. So, what's your biggest frustration? Are you puzzled about how to do stuff on your Mac better, faster, more elegantly? Are you easily distracted? Do you fall down the rabbit hole way too often? Do you start out the day with a list of things to do? Do you do all the things that you think you should do today? I don't know. There's so much to it. Tell me. Type in the chat box. Oh, well, all right, there's nobody here. So don't type in the chat box if you... All right, you can type in the chat box. All right, so here's the thing. Don't leave early, because you'll miss out on the best deals if you leave early. I've got a great deal at the very end of this stuff, and the best deal I'm ever going to offer on both the course and the ebook. The best deal ever is the deal at the end of my webinars. This workshop will be available for replay, but the replay won't include the special offer. And now, or actually it'll include it, I guess, but it'll have expired by the time people see it. And now, on to working smarter technique number 1. Let's talk about snippets and why they rock. All right, so what's a snippet? A snippet is a short abbreviation that you type that expands automatically when you press the space bar or type punctuation mark. The idea being, if you type something many times a day, like your email address or your mailing address, or a paragraph of text that describes the product you're talking about all the time, or whatever, anything that you type more than a few times a day is eligible to become a snippet. Snippets are faster, easier, and more accurate than typing. A snippet can type a whole paragraph in the blink of an eye. You can't. I can't. I don't know anyone who can. If you type something more than a few times a day, it should be a snippet, because A, it's more accurate, and B, it's faster. They will save you time and effort every single day. All you have to do is figure out what things you type every day, many times a day, and snippets will absolutely save you time every day. And by the way, prevent embarrassing typos also. So, Snippets work on part one, or leg one, improving your efficiency. Snippets, you're typing anyway, right? So snippets improve your typing. They make it so that you type faster and more accurately with less work, and it speeds things up all along. Now, there's a couple of ways you can do the snippet thing. One is built into Mac OS X. That's the one I'm going to show you. But know that there are third-party apps that do it way better than what's built in. What's built in is kind of like the I don't want to insult Hyundais or Kias, but the Hyundai or Kia of snippet. Okay, and so moving right along, here's how you do it on your Mac. First, open your System Preferences and click on the keyboard icon there. So now click on the Text tab at the top. And in the Text tab, you will type the abbreviation. All right, there's the Text tab, right? First step. Second step, click the plus button. And that'll make that little blank area that you see, the open field there, appear. All right? And you type the snippet and its expansion. In this case, it's going to be BW for bob@workingsmarterformacusers.com, which is my email address. All right? Now, ready? Oh, I typed the snippet and the expansion. I forgot I made these cool arrows. All right, and finally, that's all there is to it. Now, from now on, whenever you type the snippet like that, it expands instantly. Instantly. It wasn't quite instantly, but it expands almost instantly into the whole email address. Now look at that. That's how many characters? I don't know. It's like 40 characters, and it types in like 1 second. I can't type 40 characters in 1 second. It takes me almost a minute to type that, or 30 seconds. And I'm pretty good at typing that because I've typed it so many times. All right, let me just say this. I use a program called Text Expander to manage my snippetizing, if you want, if you will. And in just 4 months, all right, Text Expander has saved me over 12 hours. All right? So how much is your time worth? I don't know how much your time is worth, but I estimate that I'm worth at least $100 an hour. So, you know, that's $1,200 or 12 hours that I had to go do something else, or 12 hours that I could make more money doing something else. In any event, 12 hours over 4 months, or 3 hours a month, is nothing to sneer at. That is awesome. So if my time is worth $150 an hour, Text Expander saved me $1,800. It's well worth getting into the snippets for all the time and money they will save you. So which way do you want to do it? The hard way? The easy way? Come on. Give me a break. You don't want to keep typing the same thing over and over again. Okay, I see. There you go. We're in the chat room. Everybody says yes. Yes. Yes and yes and yes. All right. Well, that's good, because snippets are one of the they're low-hanging fruit. They're an easy thing to do to get more work done in less time, and just make your life easier and make things faster. So check them out. Give it a try, okay? Next, technique number 2, take the time to plan and you'll get more work done. All right? So here's the thing. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you don't have a concrete plan for how to spend the time you're going to spend today working, then you're unlikely to accomplish the things that really need to be accomplished. You're likely to react and fall down rabbit holes, and just entirely, if you're cognizant of what needs to be done today and you know how much time it's going to take, you're a lot closer to getting it done than you think. So have you ever spent more time deciding what to do next than you actually spent doing the next thing? No? Well, I have, and I used to do these to-do lists, and it got to the point where the to-do list ran to, I think, 12 pages, and it was totally useless. I would just cherry pick the easiest thing to do and pat myself on the back if I did it, and not get that much done, and certainly not get the most important things done first. So one of the key things to making a plan is identifying the most important things for today, most important tasks. Your MITs, as I like to call them. It's crucial to know which tasks have to be finished today and which don't. And a plan helps you do that, and you need to be really specific. So most important tasks isn't work on the book. Most important tasks is write 5 pages or finish chapter 4 or things like that. So be specific when you make your plans. And a plan helps you to do just about everything you need to do in time. So if you identify the most important tasks and then assign a block of text to each task, I promise you, you will finish more work in less time. And you'll spend less time wondering what exactly you should be doing next, or even what you should be doing now, because you have a list of things that need to be done, and you can do them. You will finish more work in less time with a plan, I'm telling you. All you need is a plan, and that will tell you what you need to do first, what you need to do, and how long each of those things is going to take to do. And if you have a plan like this, you can finish all the important stuff by early afternoon and spend the rest of the day doing stuff that needs to be done but isn't maybe as crucial. A plan really helps you manage your activities, manage your time. All right, so here's the thing. Time management, you hear about time management or managing your time. That's a misnomer. There's no such thing. Time is constant. Time runs at a rate of 1,440 minutes to the day. Every day is 1,440 minutes long. You cannot change that. You can't manage that. What you can manage, though, is how you use your time. So, for example, my friend Guy Kawasaki read my first self-published ebook, and he said it's no coincidence that the day after he read that book, he started working on his next book, and he'll finish it because of my book. And that was on February 14th last year. So that was my Valentine from Guy Kawasaki. I'm very proud of that, I have to say. So here's the deal. Download my productivity planning worksheet. It's free. And give planning a try. I'm telling you, this works. All right, I don't want you to leave yet, so I'm not going to tell you where to go get that until the very end of the workshop. But at the very end, right before the closing credits, I will put up a slide with a URL where you can download that for free. So here's what I want to know. Are you going to try making a plan? Type your answers in the chat bot box. All right. Very well then. If there are no more comments, we're going to go on to the third and I don't know. Maybe it's not final. Yeah, I don't know. We're going to try this. Maybe it's the third and final. I don't remember anymore. I've updated this presentation so many times. I forget if this is. I think this is the third and final tip. Yeah, this is it. All right. So here's the third and final technique. All right, do you do the Pomodoro is the question, and the Pomodoro is a technique that helps you get in the zone and stay there and do more work and be focused. So these are some quotes I'm pretty that make a lot of sense to me. The hardest part of writing is keeping your ass in the chair. That's Wallace Stegner, famous American novelist. The secret to writing a screenplay is keeping your ass in the chair. That's Oliver Stone, apparently paraphrasing Wallace Stegner. I don't know for sure, but I think Stegner said it a long time before Stone. And then the secret to getting stuff done is keeping your ass in the chair. And that's me. I said that. And I'm paraphrasing both of them. And probably many others, but that is the secret, because if your ass isn't in the chair, you're not getting anything done. If you work at a Macintosh, you need your fingers on the keyboard and the mouse for things to happen. Correct? Okay, so moving right along, I use an app, a free app called ZoneBox. I really like ZoneBox. It lets me stack up all of my Pomodoros. So the deal with the Pomodoro is it's named that because this Italian guy used a tomato-shaped kitchen timer to time his work sessions. And the theory is in the Pomodoro of technique or method or whatever you want to call it, you work for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break. And there's a lot more to it, but it's basically you work 25 minutes, you take 15 minutes off. You take 5 minutes off. You work 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes off. You work 25 minutes, you take 5 minutes off. You work 25 minutes, then you take 30 minutes off. Every fourth Pomodoro session, you take a longer break. So I use this app ZoneBox to organize my Pomodoro sessions for the day, and I really like two things about it. The first is the progress bars. So if you can see the purple line, it goes running across the bottom of the window and across my menu bar at the top of the screen simultaneously. I really like that. That's cool. It also tells me in numbers how long I have remaining in my Pomodoro. Here, I think I have arrows for that too. See, up in the menu bar, 13 minutes. So I know I'm halfway through. And I really like knowing that when I'm working on a Pomodoro. I like knowing how much time is left. All right? So, doing these Pomodoros, 25 minutes of focused work on one topic, you will get more done in less time. I promise. Guaranteed. You try this. 25 minutes, one subject. If you are interrupted or you go to do something else, you fall down a rabbit hole, you have to start your 25 minutes over. Be honest with yourself. Put it into practice. Give it a try. Trust me, it will help you avoid procrastination and get more done. Now, Pomodoros are good. Pomodoro sessions, 25-minute work chunks, focusing and stuff like that are good. With time blocking, with making a plan for the day that tells you how you're going to use the hours that you're going to be working, it's nothing less than a game changer. And this is one of my students, and he just said he feels like he's got a new lease on life. He's more productive, more effective. He's fallen in love with his Mac again. It's material here for all skill levels. Give it a try. I'm telling you, this guy, he gets it, but you will too. It's not rocket science. This is all really easy stuff that you just don't know about yet, but you will. Now let me ask you a question, one question. Probably more than one, but here's the one for now. Are you ready to become a raging thunder lizard of productivity? Yes, yes. All right, type your answers into the chat box. I'm reading them as we speak. Yes, yes, and yes. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay, now I have another question for you. Why are you here today? Dave 101 says, I'm not as efficient as I'd like to be when I'm using my Mac. Okay, that's good. And Susan says she'd like to spend less time working and more time playing. I get that. That's absolutely what this whole thing is about. And Joe says he procrastinates. He watches. You're admitting he admits to watching cat videos when he should be working. All right, so the big question is, don't you want to be a raging thunder lizard of productivity? Let me help you do it. You have two options right now. You're at a crossroads. There are two ways. The old slow way and the new fast way. So take your pick. Let me introduce you to the new fast way, though. It's called Working Smarter for Mac Users. It's a book and an online course. And it's just a fabulous wealth of different techniques and tips and products and things and ways to do things that will show you how to do more work in less time and have more time for the things you love. There's the book cover. Want All right. Who's it for? That's actually a good question. Thank you. Who said that? Susan? Susan. All right. Who is it for? Well, almost any user of any Mac user of any skill level will be able to understand and benefit from everything in Working Smarter for Mac users. Remember, I've written dozens of For Dummies books. It's been my job for years to write in clear and concise language without jargon. The idea has always been that my wife or my mother-in-law should be able to read anything that I write for Dummies and get it. All right, so I know how to write in a way that won't like overwhelm you with technical detail. The idea here is I know I can show you how to do more work in less time. If you think you could be doing more work in less time, or if you think you could do your work faster, or if you think you could spend less time goofing around, you almost certainly can. No, you certainly can. Let me show you how I can help. The online course is really the most intense way, the best and most thorough way to learn this. There's 57 short lessons, less than 10 minutes, most less than 5 minutes, and they're broken into 3 parts, of course, which should sound familiar by now. All right, so you got part 1 on improving your efficiency, part 2 on managing your activities, and part 3 on, well, here, look, part 1, part 2, and part 3. That's how many lessons I got. And guess what? This is not something where you got one guy pitching it and some other, you know, like minion answers your questions or you know, designs. I wrote, produced, and edited every drop of this course. Nobody did anything. The only thing I didn't do was write and compose the music that opens and closes each lesson for 10 seconds, which came from a what do you call it? Stock footage library. So in just under 9 hours, you will learn every trick I know for becoming more efficient at your Mac. You'll learn everything I know about managing your activities and time and getting more done. And you'll learn how to avoid procrastination once and for all. My lessons are optimized for desktop and mobile web browsers. That looks great no matter what you watch it on. There's the kind of what it would look like on 3 different devices. I personally like to take these courses on tablets because then I can walk around with it, and I of course have trouble keeping my ass in the chair, so a tablet is a good thing. But whatever you like, you can go to your course on any device that you want. Anything that's got a web browser will give you a good experience taking the lessons, and it's easy to watch the lessons on any device you like. Plus, if you have questions, I'm available to answer them personally, usually within a few hours. And I know sometimes people say, you know, we'll be there to answer your questions personally, and then one of their minions answers your questions. I want you to know that I don't have any minions. I am a solopreneur. I'm the only one here, and so, at least so far. And so I'm going to be the one answering your questions, and I assure you it's important to me that if you have a question, I answer it quickly because I want you to succeed at this. Now, this course normally sells for $499 for the 9-hour course, or 2 payments of $249. But because you're here, because you've come to my webinar, because you've come to this workshop, and you've already learned a couple of things, I'm going to give it to you for $299. 30% off, just $299, or 2 payments of $149 each. And actually, 2 payments of $149 each is less than $299. It's $298. So I don't know why you wouldn't do that to save $1. Anyway, don't delay. It's a one-time offer, and it expires at midnight on Sunday, January 28th. If you spend too much time chasing rabbits down rabbit holes, if you procrastinate when you think you should be working, regardless of what your rabbit hole is, whether it's Facebook, or as I like to call it, Bookface, eBay, Etsy, tabloid sites, or even cat videos on YouTube. You'll learn to do more work in less time every day, guaranteed. I guarantee it. I offer a 100% 30-day guarantee, money back, if you do not learn to do more work in less time. Just ask and you'll get your money back. That's all. That's all there is to it. Imagine this. You could finish all your work every day before the sun goes down. Unless you live like somewhere where the sun goes down mid-afternoon. But, you know, if you live in the continental 48, you could finish work before sundown, assuming you don't wake up at 1 p.m. All right, you got nothing to lose and so much to gain. Please. All right, let me try to entice you a little more. All right, here's what happens when you enroll. You get a welcome email from me almost immediately with login instructions, and then you can dive right in. I'd like you to start with the introduction and the prelude. They're a little longer than the average lesson, but they set the stage for everything to come. If you really want to get this stuff, read the backstory. All right, or dive right into the first lesson if you're dying to, you know, get going. But a lot of the reasoning behind why things are the way they are in future lessons are explained in the introduction and prelude. So don't miss them if you can possibly avoid it. The whole course is always available to you all at once. You know, some people offer the course where you have to finish lesson 2 to see lesson 3. I do nothing of the sort. If a lesson doesn't apply to you, if you don't like it, if you're not interested in that particular topic, skip over it and do the next one. Do whatever suits you. You can watch for. There's no time limit. Once you bought this, it's yours for as long as the course hosting company and I are still alive in business. You can. So, you know, you could watch one a day for 57 days, or you could watch the whole thing in one day, or you could watch one a week for 57 weeks. Do whatever suits you, but I recommend finishing as quickly as possible, because only then can you put the full array of working smarter techniques to work for you. All right. You'll also receive weekly reminders for as long as you have unwatched lessons, unless you ask us to stop, and then we will. All right. So, thank you, Jessica and Richard, and oh boy, we've got a bunch of new folks. Steve, who else? Dave in New Hampshire. All right. Well, here's all I can tell you is save 40%, enroll today. All right. Remember, you only have until Sunday to get this 40% off deal. And it's for workshop attendees only, and it's going away Sunday at midnight. So, any questions? Are there any questions? Anybody have any questions? No? Oh, you're busy typing your credit card number into the order form. Well, I'd hate to interrupt that. All right. Well, moving right along then. You've got nothing to lose but countless hours to gain. I mean, time is everything. And this will give you more time to do things you like to do. All right. So if you're still on the fence, tell me why in the chat box there. Let me know exactly what your concern is, and I'll do my best to address it right here and now. No? Okay, wow. That's awesome. Thank you, folks out there in workshop land. All right, once again, don't forget this offer expires Sunday night for the last time. Start working smarter now, and let me help you become a raging thunder lizard of productivity today. There is one last thing. I promised you I would show you where you could download your free productivity planning worksheet, my super plan planning productivity planning worksheet. So there is where, right here at workingsmarterformacusers.com/free. And now, if you would please stand by for the closing credits. That's all I got. And ladies and gentlemen, that's the end, at least for now. See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.